You know, really true experience I had with Tony, but many, many experiences off the racetrack. You know, and that's where you learn about the person.
We drive like that, we'll probably crash tomorrow. We gotta drive like this.
This is La La Land. You know, the fans are here, the pressure's here, the media's here. It's not that you're any different as a person, you're just not comfortable, you know. So you go to Eldora, you know, you go to a dirt track somewhere, you go to the shop, you go to a birthday party or you know, one of his celebrations or just something, you know, and you really get to know the person away from the racetrack. You know, that's kind of where I got to you know, experience and enjoy the real Tony Stewart.
No matter what the track is, Tony's certainly one of the great characters in racing. We've been privileged to get to know him over the years. And while he may be retired from Sprint Cup Series racing, Adam, there is no question he's not gone from our sport.
We'll see him around the garage. Maybe we could get him here in the studio on NASCAR Race Hub, huh? It's an open invitation, Tony. No doubt big changes at Stewart-Haas when it comes to 2017. Clint Boyer in, replacing the retired Tony Stewart. And that's not the only big move for the organization, also going from Chevy to Ford. And no doubt they will receive plenty of help from the manufacturer. The guys with the blue oval on their shirt have all the tools. Here's Jeff Hammond at the Tech Center.
We've been in the facility a little more than a year and still building it up. But it really started with us taking a look at our engagement in motorsport. And obviously we've been engaged in motorsport since we founded as a company, you know, back when Henry Ford won his first race in 1901. To be honest, we haven't been as competitive as we'd like to be in many of the series. And we looked at our engineering capabilities in almost 30,000 engineers around the world, and what could we do to better leverage that total organization for our performance on the track. This is an approach about being much more engaged technically in support of our teams, putting our driver actually in a simulator so they can get a feel of what's happening with those different setups, and they can give us feedback of how different setups are working, and being able to change setups really quickly really speeds up our development process. Any driver comes in a little bit skeptical about it, whether a simulator can really recreate what they're feeling on the track. Probably the biggest proof is now all of our drivers have their custom seats here because they spend so much time on the simulator and really seeing how much it's worth.
So this is our simulator room. Out here, first we have the control room. This is where our Ford engineers will sit. The race team engineers will come in here, and they're able to obviously control the setup on the simulator. They're able to control the setup for the vehicle that's being simulated.
Right.
And they'll get real-time feedback from the driver, both with comments and with data coming in on the screens.
This is incredible.
One of the most important things is making the environment real so that the driver believes that they're really in the car. So you want the screen at a good distance all the way through their peripheral vision.
Right.
High definition projectors putting a very accurate image on the screen. From where the driver sits, from the inside, they can see the dash, the steering wheel, the roll cage, the pedals, the gear shift. Everything is set up so that it feels like they are in their real car.
You wouldn't consider letting me take a ride, would you?
Absolutely. Would love for you to experience it. Let's take a spin.
Here's the real test. This is where I can get the steering wheel on. Starting down through the S's here. Got it into third gear. Across one of the berms. I got news for you. This right here is not your normal arcade. I'm telling you, this thing is unbelievable. I couldn't believe the realism. Everything is down to the last little detail. Now, what they told me was the setup that we were running is one of the team's setups, so it should have been pretty close. To me, I would love to be a crew chief today and have something like this to be able to take my driver and work with him on a weekly basis.
I don't know about that crew chief and the simulator thing. I'm not sure that's going to fly.
At least you can't crash it.
That's right. Yeah, you can't tear up the equipment. Hey, your first trip in a Cup car, 2006, on track. How much has technology changed behind the scenes like what we saw there in your time?
It's changed a lot. I wish I had that when I was 18, 19 years old, trying to get accustomed to these new racetracks. But, you know, that's the future. I think that these manufacturers are laying the foundation down. You know, Chevrolet, Ford, and Toyota all have simulators that the teams can all go and practice on. They can develop their race cars, and that'll be a big help for Stewart-Haas Racing switching over to Ford. But I think in another 10 years, crew chiefs, engineers, the tire guys, the aero department, they're all going to use this tool to really help develop their race cars.
That's what I was going to say. How does all this technology help Stewart-Haas as they go from Chevy to Ford and join the new family?
Well, it has to help. I mean, going into this it's going to be a big year for them, for Stewart-Haas. And I'm going to be watching this story really close because I think it's really kind of an interesting thing how they're going to take these Hendrick Motorsports chassis that they've had over the years. They're going to rebody them with Ford bodies and Ford engines. So they'll see how this hybrid car works and how that interaction, but also how these teams, these Ford teams, work with each other. Even though they have all this technical help, they still have to work with each other to be able to get these cars to go as fast as they can. I do believe, though, that this team is so deep technically that they're going to be one of the leaders probably that the other Ford teams will lean on.
And they're prepared. You know, they started planning this process a while back. So I think that it's something that they're going to be ready, and you can see some of these guys maybe in victory lane in 2017.
I would say the two of you are old school thinkers. You guys agree?
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not so much.
I don't have as many gray hairs as Andy.
No,
I'm a little old school.
But yeah, you are old school. Perfect example. Okay, we got throwback weekend at Darlington, right? David can have throwback weekend anytime. He's got the Mayberry squad car.
He is old school.
I'm an old school guy, so I'm looking forward to this.
How about a ride to Mount Airy with our guy David Reagan? It's next on the Hub.
This Thanksgiving, the Continental Tire Las Vegas Invitational is on FS1. Keenan Martin and the Butler Bulldogs look to outmuscle Luke Cornett and Vanderbilt.
Get out of my way, power!
Kadeem Allen leads the charge for Arizona against Santa Clara. It's time for big-time basketball in Sin City.
Gotta look! Bam!
The Continental Tire Las Vegas Invitational, Thanksgiving at 7:30 Eastern on FS1.
You ever feel like you're spinning?
Like you're stuck in the same place in life? Just going round and round and round? Yeah, man. Been there.
No, actually spinning.
Oh, we can fix that by going to Midas. They have a great selection of tires. Sorry, Doug, I thought you were trying to get deep.
Midas sells great brands at great prices. Get up to $160 back by mail on a set of 4 select Goodyear or Cooper tires when you use your Midas credit card. Tires, brakes, oil, everything. Trust the Midas touch.
Every team has a goal. Every team makes a plan. But only one team in the world has what it takes to succeed, no matter what gets in their way. Find out more at GoArmy.com/team.
Thanksgiving weekend on Fox is a showdown for a spot in the Pac-12 championship. Friday, Washington State at 3 Eastern on Fox.
Buy one, get one wings are the best.
Now, I love the taste of free.
To me, it tastes like my garlic Parmesan wings.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm just eating the free one. No harm.
Free tastes pretty good with buy one, get one wings Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. to close. This is how you Sonic.
She got to pick out the paint. I got to spend a whole day with my favorite helper.
Find your true colors at your locally owned True Value. Get Trolls Easy Care paint, available in 24 Trolls-inspired colors. And pick up a Trolls paint tray set. Behind every project is a True Value. See DreamWorks Trolls, now playing.
Hey, I'm Paul, and I used to ask if you could hear me now with Verizon. Not anymore. I'm with Sprint now, because guess what? It's 2016 and every network is great. In fact, Sprint's reliability is now within 1% of Verizon. And Sprint saves you 50% on most Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile rates. So I switched to Sprint, and millions more have too. Can you hear that?
Don't let a 1% difference cost you twice as much. Switch to Sprint and save 50% today. El momento finalmente ha llegado. La aplicación más increíble y demandada de Dubái. El momento finalmente ha llegado. La aplicación más increíble y demandada de Dubái ha cobrado vida y está funcionando más rápido.
Clay, to me, had the biggest adjustment because some of the touches he was getting last year and the year before were not there with Kevin Durant in the mix. I think when he leaned back and took a sip of that post-game beverage and kind of let it out, that told me Clay was feeling good and that these Warriors would be just fine.
That 8-game winning streak for the Dubs, longest in the NBA right now. And think about this. If the Clippers lose to the Mavs and the Warriors beat the Lakers, the Warriors would then have the best record in the NBA. Brian, we will be back with you later in the show. Coming up next, we're going to preview the Raptors and the Rockets with play-by-play man Craig Ackerman on 10 Before Tip.
Foot Locker, nice.
Mello? Yeah, the Week of Greatness is back for year 5. You been?
Not yet, but I'm planning on it.
You don't sound too urgent. The window for greatness closes fast.
I've experienced my fair share of greatness.
I mean, you're definitely really good, but greatness?
I'm a 9-time All-Star.
That's more of a popularity contest.
I won a national championship in college.
Come on, man, that doesn't really count.
I have 3 gold medals.
Against, like, Peru.
You guys spend a lot of time commenting on the internet?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Black Friday doorbusters are going on now at Joseph A. Bank. All sports shirts, including Traveler, just $3 for $99. All signature Pima cotton sweaters, $2 for $49. And Traveler twill pants are $2 for $99. Plus, wool top cuts are just $99. Only at Joseph A. Bank.
Know what makes rushing out for Black Friday sales worth it? Diamonds. And the Zales Black Friday sale has lots and lots of diamonds. Shop now through Black Friday for 35% off an amazing selection store-wide. Only at Zales, the diamond store.
All it takes is a couple of minutes. The monthly payments are low, and you can get immediate proof of insurance. Get your anonymous online quote with low payments and ride with the General.
Hey, Shaq, how about some help up here?
Nope, I'm retired.
For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time.
It's Black Friday at Verizon, and people are ready because they know a deal is only as good as the network it's on. Verizon gives you the best network and a lot more. Our best deals of the year on top Android phones, like the Pixel, phone by Google, and the Samsung Galaxy S7. $10 per month and no trade-in required. Or get an iPad Mini 2 for $99. Shop our best deals early Thursday and all day in stores on Friday. Hurry and get it all at Verizon.
Got the food, got the fat head, now we're ready for the game. He's a beast.
It's big. I put it up and the room was done.
I give you this one for him.
I am blown away with how detailed this fat head is. Unbelievable.
It's huge! It's so cool! It's absolutely perfect! Whoa! I love it!
This one is mine. Get your own fat head.
We're back!
Yes, we are. Certified, verified, and approved.
You want to be inside stuff?
Hey, inside stuff? I'm not an artist, so don't be offended. If you whip, I win.
Now that's
the inside stuff.
Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on NBA TV.
Play was designed for somebody else.
Yeah, you kind of stole the pass from Lou, you know that.
Yeah, I think they should have put, give me a steal for that,
I thought it was an all-star snub last year, and I don't remember the last team to lose 4 starters and then make the playoffs. And he was able to take that team to the playoffs, losing 4 starters, and that was just it had a lot to do with him, had a lot to do with CJ's growth, and then those guys just buying in.
With playing the Warriors, you got plenty to worry about other than an emotional hangover. So I told the guys, it's us and the Spurs are the only 2 teams that have beat them, and we beat them last. So they're probably the ones that are a little nervous right now.
How do you think Clay got his groove back?
Same way Stella did, right?
Seriously?
Yeah, maybe. You never know.
You know, that's what it's all about. You know, learning from, you know, players you respect in the league. And, you know, James, one of the guys I grew up with since, you know, he was 12, 13 years old. And, you know, we watch each other.
Okay, so I've never seen how Stella got her groove back, so I actually have no idea what Steph is talking about, and I love the sarcasm from Luke, and it is time for our stat stuffer. And check out two of the top scorers, two of the top shooting guards in the league. They do it in different ways. James Harden, 4th at 28.6, and 3rd in three-point makes per game at 3. DeRozan, 2nd in the league in scoring at almost 31 per. But look at this. He is 1st in the NBA in two-point field goals made at 11.4. And they say the mid-range is dead. Come on. All right, let's cruise over here. Let's swing the ball around the NBA once again, this time with Rockets play-by-play man Craig Ackerman, who joins us from Houston. We have Sekou Smith with us as well here on 10 Before Tip. Craig, thanks for joining us, man. James Harden has been a great player since he arrived in Houston, as you know. But this year the numbers are galactic. 28.6, 12.4, 7.8 with the boards. How much credit does Mike D'Antoni deserve for James Harden's mega year?
I think he deserves quite a bit of the credit. As you mentioned, James is a great player, has been a great player, will continue to be a great player. But Mike had the forward thought of, look, James normally handles the ball more than anybody else. Let's just give it to him at the start of possessions and let him go to work and allow him. He's such an able and willing passer. His court vision is amongst the best in the NBA, and so he dubbed him his points guard. He can still score, as you mentioned, with the elite players in the league, but now he's setting the table for everybody else, and what James is doing to start this season is certainly historic.
And now that Patrick Beverley is back, of course, last year's starting point guard, he's back to a new role of sorts. What's he bringing to the attack right now, and how has his role changed, Craig?
Well, I mean, look, his role, I mean, he's handling the ball somewhat when James is on the floor, a little bit more when he's off as a traditional point guard. But in essence, he was the off guard anyway since he's been in Houston. He's always had tremendous chemistry with James Harden. And what Pat Beverley brings to this team, they're undefeated, by the way, since he's come back, is he's their sort of emotional leader on the floor. He's tip of the spear, if you will, defensively for this team. He sets the tone at that end of the court. The Rockets have improved exponentially defensively over the last 2 weeks. In fact, they're one of the top 10 defenses in the NBA over the last couple of weeks, and Pat certainly deserves some of that credit in the last 3 games since he's come back. You get him another three-point shooter, and he helps balance out the roster, allowing Eric Gordon, which was the plan all along, to come off the bench and give a boost to that group. And now the Rockets not only have one of the better starting units in the league, but with Eric Gordon coming off the bench, that group is fortified as well.
Hey, Sekou. For years, we've been lauding Kobe Bryant's footwork as arguably the best in the league. Obviously, he's gone. Now DeMar DeRozan is getting all kinds of dap for his footwork, especially from Kevin Durant. How is that footwork helping DeRozan basically drop 30 a game?
Well, I think part of it is just understanding who you are and what you're best at on the floor. He's not a great three-point shooter. He knows that. So he's taking advantage of defenses, playing everybody else for the three. You watch the way he works, the way he attacks the basket, attacks the rim. It's not only working for him in the mid-range game, but look at how many times a night he goes to the free throw line. That's where he's making his living, is drawing fouls and knocking down shots at the free throw line. Smart basketball, very cerebral approach, I think, from DeMar DeRozan, and very shrewd on the part of Dwayne Casey to allow him to play to that strength.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, Craig, enjoy the ball game, man. Happy Thanksgiving. God bless.
Let me tell you about games. More than 100 this season live on NBA TV. The teams you want to see, the players you need to see, the history makers making history right before your eyes. Now, let me tell you about the game. Not the 48 minutes, the 24 hours. Being in the NBA means round-the-clock commitment. Following the NBA means constant conversation. At NBA TV, the game doesn't stop. Because the game doesn't stop. The game is life, and it lives on NBA TV.
Hey, I'm Ty Pennington, and I've got a simple question for you. Are you paying too much for your mortgage? Well, back with Guaranteed Rate. You can do it right now. It's that easy. With Guaranteed Rate's digital mortgage, you can choose from today's lowest rates, check your free credit scores, and even get approved online. Anytime, anywhere. All in just minutes, at no cost to you. Lowering your mortgage payment could save you thousands of dollars. Just take a few minutes right now to see how much you could save.
We were going to rent. That was the going-in plan, but the rate was so low at Guaranteed Rate that we ended up buying.
Whether you're buying a new home or refinancing your current home, get a low, low rate from Guaranteed Rate. Visit rate.com right now to find out how much you could save. Call 1-888-557-1555 or visit rate.com.
NBA League Pass. Your courtside seats in the action from around the league. See it happen live. Catch the games on your TV and computer. Stream them on your devices with the new NBA app. Watch live games from wherever you are. NBA.
There's a new way to buy a mattress. Introducing Cocoon by Sealy, one of Oprah's favorite things of 2016. Sealy's top-rated mattress is delivered conveniently to your door in a box. Try it for 100 nights, risk-free.
As you unpack it, you realize it's such a substantial, high-quality mattress. It feels like I'm sleeping in the clouds every night.
Try it for 100 nights with our hassle-free promise. If you don't love it, we'll refund your money and pick it up for free. Use the promo code on your screen and save $100 at buycocoon.com.
We're back with our status update on a 13-game Wednesday night. Gallo out for Denver. George Hill might return for the Jazz. Miles Turner, good news, he's going to go after missing a game with the ankle. Paul George is back for the Pacers as they take on the Hawks. And Julius Randle, doubtful with a hip injury that bothered him last night. The Lakers, as we've documented, also without D'Angelo Russell. It is time for Jump Ball on 10 before tip. Rick Kamla, Sekou Smith, and we have Brian Geltzeiler of SiriusXM NBA Radio. And let's start with who you would rather have between Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Davis as we look at the tail of the tape. Towns is rolling right now at about 22-9 with 7 double-doubles. Davis is good for 30-11 with the same amount of double-doubles. Sekou, you have the honors this time.
Well, look, this is an extremely difficult choice to make between two of the best young big men in the league and arguably the two best young big men in the league. I just feel like Karl Anthony Towns' ability to not only play inside, but to play outside. He's stretching his game out to the three-point line. Makes him something we have not seen the likes of in quite some time. Now, Anthony Davis, no doubt, is unbelievable. The things he can do on the floor, blocking shots in transition. But I think really the versatility that you have with Karl Anthony Towns and the fact that he doesn't have these injury issues that keep coming up with Anthony Davis lean towards Karl Anthony Towns.
Brian, who would you rather have?
I'm a Towns guy as well, and I think Sekou said it very eloquently in terms of what the deal is with the injuries with Anthony Davis. Towns, so far,
after missing a game,
has to be much more reliable in terms of being able to have him on the floor. But here's the other thing. As dynamic as Davis is, and Davis is incredibly dynamic, is a little bit more functional. Towns functions as a traditional big man, and I do think when you look at having success and how important it is to win a championship and win a title, the guy to me that functions as more of a traditional type of big man in a playoff setting is the one that I'd rather have when it's this close between two players. So I favorite Towns as well by the slimmest of margins.
And I know Timberwolves Nation is like, Kamla, what are you going to say here? I would take Karl Anthony Towns as well, and durability is the #1 factor. I do trust Karl Anthony Towns to do that. And I think Towns is a better natural shooter than Anthony Davis. It's a very tough call. I love them both, but I would take Towns. Now, we continue jump ball with Joel Embiid, who will remain on a minutes restriction of 24 tonight against the Grizzlies. Brian, do the 76ers need to take the bubble wrap off of the process?
Absolutely not. And the reason is quite simple. They have a situation in front, Rick, right now. It's a tough situation. You got 3 bigs, and no one's allowed going to be back soon. You have Okafor. The minutes restriction helps you preserve Embiid and ease him into an NBA season, and it allows you to showcase one of the other 2 guys for a deal. Noel's the likely one to get dealt because he's eligible for a contract after this season, and I don't think the Sixers are going to want to pay him $20 million per when they have Embiid and Okafor. And I think Noel's going to be the one to go. But why turn around and remove the minutes restriction right now when you need to find playing time for these other guys? You know that Okafor and Noel can't play together. You want to find out what Noel can do with Embiid here. So to me, keep the minutes restriction on here for and pretty much until you got one of these guys dealt, because you need to play all three of them, and a minutes restriction is the type of thing that it's multifunctional for the Sixers to keep that on Embiid.
Sekou?
No, I'm good. And my favorite pastime this time of year, holiday season, popping bubble wrap. Pop it. Pop every single one of them.
It's fun, isn't it?
I want to see more Joel Embiid. I mean, when I'm watching these games, and I know he's going out on this minutes restriction, you know he's going out when he's getting hotter in moments when you want to see how he responds. They had a great matchup last week on TNT with Minnesota. Karl Anthony Towns is going at him late in the game, and Embiid heads to that bench, and he knows it. He's shaking his head because he wants to be out there on that floor. I want to see what else he's got, and you're going to have to stretch it just a little bit for us to get a glimpse of it.
Well, he's not going to be on a minutes restriction his entire career, or the no back-to-back thing his entire career. I'm okay with the minutes restriction. I would play him on back-to-backs, though. I would get him up to speed with that. Now, continue on with the jump ball. Are the Oklahoma City Thunder overachieving or underachieving at 8-7 through 15 games? Sekou.
I don't think they're underachieving at all. I think it's unfair to assume that this team was going to be better than basically what they are. They've got one superstar on that team. You go for 8 years of having this dynamic duo of Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. You snatch that away, you can't expect him to compensate for that just by himself. It's going to take some time for the rest of those guys to get up to speed.
Brian?
Rick, I think they're underachieving in a big way. This has the potential to be an elite defensive team, and quite frankly, lately, their defense has been a dumpster fire, and effort. They should be much better than they are. Schedule that they've played. I think they're underachieving in a big way. I think we look for OKC to defend much better here going forward, or this is going to be nothing but a 500 team.
I think OKC is underachieving as well. I think Enes Kanter needs to play more minutes. Russell Westbrook has taken 64 shots over the last 2 games. Victor Oladipo needs more shots. They got to balance it out a little bit more. I think they should be better than 8-6. XM NBA Radio. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy and healthy to you and yours, Rick and Sekou. Talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Sekou, you the man. Happy Thanksgiving as well.
Pop the bubble wrap.
Sekou Smith's going to be on NBA TV tonight, so you have not seen the last of him. Or these guys, the starters, are coming up next as we wrap up 10 before tip on NBA TV. You're getting limbered up, man.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Uh-oh, your car breaks down, it's out of warranty, and you're out of cash. This expensive fix is coming out of your pocket.
But not if you have a Toco vehicle service contract. Deductible and plan limits apply.
Toco specializes in affordable monthly payment vehicle service contracts that help get your car back on the road and can help save you hassle and money on covered repairs.
If your car warranty has expired or it's about to expire, it's time to call Toco.
Just one big repair can break the bank, leaving you without your cash or your car.
You could spend over $400 for a water pump or $900 to replace the brakes.
Imagine paying $1,700 for a new transmission and over $2 grand for a blown engine.
And if you don't have the cash to fix it, you don't have a car. And without a car, how do you get to work?
With a Toco plan, unexpected and costly repairs covered in the plan are paid for you. Deductible and plan limits apply.
Here's how it works. When your car breaks down,
so all night long, I need everybody in the arena just as loud as everybody over here. Plus, while you're on social media, I need you using the hashtag Pacers Game Night. It's being presented by Dunkin' Donuts, and we're going to show you all kind of love on the big screen. Now, Pacers fans, I need you to help me out. On the count of 3, I need the entire arena to say go Pacers. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Okay, we knuckin' and buckin' and ready to fight. I got my cousin, he with me and got Lizzie on the right.
Presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Indiana.
The Pacers' Paul George has missed the last 3 games with a sore left ankle. He will play tonight for Indiana. So too will Miles Turner. He missed the Golden State game on Monday in the starting lineup tonight against the Hawks. As everyone gets ready for the Thanksgiving holiday, the Pacers are giving thanks that they've got 2 starters back in the lineup tonight. Yes, Paul George and Miles Turner will start for Indiana as they try to rebound after a loss on Monday against Golden State. It's the Pacers and the Hawks on Fox Sports Indiana. On behalf of all of us, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy yourself tomorrow. With Quinn Buckner, I'm Kristen Eyre. We hope to enjoy ourselves tonight. And as I mentioned, Paul George, Miles Turner are back.
Well, I'm sure all of the Pacers are glad to have them both back. When you look at the way this team has been put together, it's been put together around Paul George, the leading scorer on the team. His ability to come back as well as he has from his injury of 2 years ago and looking like a, an MVP-type candidate. So you lose him for 3 games, and then all of a sudden you lose Miles Turner, who's really coming into his own in terms of shot blocking. He does a terrific job getting out, protecting the rim, great size rebounding, and you see his growth. Both are going to need to be on top of their game, Chris.
Also looking to be on top of his game against his former team is Jeff Teague. He plays against the Hawks for the first time in a Pacers uniform.
It's always got to be interesting for guys. I know it was for me when I went back and played for a team that virtually traded me or got me out of there. Now you try to come back, as Jeff Teague will, to try to show that team that traded you or let you go what they're missing. Expect to see Jeff Teague play with great energy, great concentration and enthusiasm. As he's played better, so has the Pacers. So expect to see him try to get it done, sometimes on its own, but at all said and done with his Pacer teammates.
It is the night before Thanksgiving, the second of 4 straight at home. Brooklyn here on Friday, the Clippers on Sunday. We get you ready for Pacers and Hawks, and we'll do so in the Fox Loft next. Jeremiah Johnson and Eddie Gill join us as the Pacers take on the Hawks on Fox Sports Indiana.
Serving our country, and please join in the singing of the national anthem being performed tonight by the Southmont High School Choir.